Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Gabe Saglie Show. I am your host, Gabe Saglie, coming to you from my at-home bar here in beautiful Southern California. And today we shed the spotlight on entertainment, because let's face it, this coronavirus pandemic is affecting the way things like movies are made and the way that we are consuming things like films in theaters and concerts in venues all over the world. What changes are ahead post-COVID? We'll dive into that here in just a sec. First off, a reminder, anything you see on the show is on our website, which we update daily. GabeSaglie.com. You'll find plenty of my wine and travel writing there as well. A little bit later in the show, a fun little video on travel etiquette that I put together with my family almost got me a national TV gig. But first off, someone who's already achieved television immortality. He's an Emmy award-winning journalist. He's done the Oscars for years. All the celebrities know him. And he's on TV all over the world, including as entertainment reporter on KTLA 5 in Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Sam Rubin. Hey there, Sam. Welcome to the show.
Gabe, nice to talk to you.
You know, I wish because of social distancing, we got to do it this way. Otherwise, I'd have you in our studio. We have a brand new, sign and everything. I would have had you in, but maybe next time.
All right, I hope so.
So, Sam, I know that when this sort of coronavirus pandemic started to really sweep the globe, like from one moment to the next, most of us were probably close to home and were able to kind of hunker down within a couple of days. But you were in the high seas on a boat off the coast of Antarctica. Is that right?
I was completing the Drake Passage. Yeah, I was trying to emulate you and take one of these once of a lifetime trips. Yeah. But the Scenic Eclipse, which is this beautiful Discovery yacht, and leaving from Argentina on March the 7th for a 12-day trip. Oh. Beautiful, once-in-a-lifetime, amazing trip. And then on the way back, the captain informed us, Argentina won't take us. So we're going to go to Uruguay. And so that sort of was an extra, 8 or 9 day odyssey. Yeah. And what was funny, and I think this had a lot to do with it, the company is based in Australia. And so 150 passengers, I'd say about 125 were Australian, totally happy and entertained the whole time. I think if that was a ship full of Americans, people might have been pounding the table like, what's going on? But these guys were relaxed and easily entertained. And you know what? It was better than quarantine.
When did you end up getting back home to?
I think it was March 27th. Oh, so that's pretty into it.
So you're back on KTLA, and the way the news is done, I mean, I know you're kind of back into the studio now, but you were broadcasting from home, from your kitchen for a couple of weeks there. So the way that local news has been done now has certainly changed also, hasn't it?
Well, one thing that's really interesting, and we're experiencing one example of it, is these technological changes. And one thing that, you've seen and I've seen and experienced over the years, the typical giant satellite truck, which is a huge commercial grade truck with a big dish on it. So that technology, that truck now fits into a box that's the size of a shoebox.
Amazing.
So the fact that they basically brought one of these boxes to my house and a camera, and one thing I think everybody's seen now, one of those ring lights. Yeah. And that was basically it. And it was sort of this TV station to go. And of course, KTLA has done it. Stations all over LA, all over the country have done it. And now I'm back at the studio, but we're doing this, massive social distancing. And I think we all want to be safe and responsible. But I'm not 6 feet away. I'm 26 feet away.
Yeah. There's a lot of elbow room on that set. You dabble in the world of entertainment. I mean, you're almost an entertainment figure yourself because you've been doing this for so long. The way that industry is making money and is presenting itself to the public completely changed. And I'm not sure if it's a short term or if there's some permanence to the whole thing.
This is the question. Usually, and maybe you feel this way. I don't think it's a gender thing necessarily, but most things I feel I have like a bead on. Oh, politically, I think this is what's going to happen. This team, it'll go out this way. And one thing that's so nutty about this situation, I have no idea. And my children know that I don't know. I think nobody knows. But is this whole thing a blip? Or is it, a permanent change of life? I think in the past, 9/11 comes to example. Oh my gosh, everything is going to change. I would submit to you that with the exception of certain travel protocols, not a lot ultimately changed. For this, I don't know. I think a huge demarcation, and this guy likes to lead the way. Christopher Nolan is a really respected director, did the Batman trilogy, many other good movies. He has a movie called Tenet, and that is scheduled for release in June. They may push it to July, but he is an advocate of the big screen. He does not want you to watch his movie at home.
Yeah.
Movie fans know who he is. They know his reputation. So a film from a guy like that, of that caliber, will that lure people back to the theater? Or is it inappropriate and not safe to go to the theater? Or are we scared to go to the theater? So I don't know. The current plans call for what they refer to as checkerboard seating, where every other seat will be empty. So even if you and your wife go together, you'll sit 1 seat apart. So that cuts the theater capacity in half.
My wife will be happy at least.
Right. And then, of course, drive-ins are making a big comeback.
Sure.
So I don't know. And then one thing that people have said, and this is going to sound sort of heartless, and it is sort of heartless. Several years ago, people felt that America, compared to Europe and other places, was underscreened. We did not have enough movie theaters. Now there's a suggestion, having nothing, not pandemic related, that we were overscreened, that we had too many.
Yeah.
Some people say we're over-restauranted, and that this is sort of this, abrupt and obviously unwelcome culling of the herd. So I don't know. And then in terms of concerts, you may have heard this. They, just as we're talking today, canceled the entire Hollywood Bowl season.
Right.
That's a huge loss. And then some have suggested, public health people, that the two worst things you can attend are live sporting events and live concert, because we're all cheering and yelling and so
spitting.
Right,
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. And then the one thing that I think has kind of been, best is the wrong word, but so much great music, these at-home concerts, and people performing in the most extraordinary ways. That part I think has been great.
What you're saying about the entertainment industry and like the big question mark around it, same thing with travel. People say to me, well, when can I go back to New York City? It's my favorite city on the planet. But I mean, the reality is that we're going to feel our way through this here over several months.
One quick sort of travel and entertainment note.
Yeah.
Also, as we're talking today, Iceland has announced, hey, we're open for production. So if you're a movie and you want to shoot, come here. And what they're saying is that they have in effect eradicated COVID-19 there.
Right.
They'll test you as you get off the plane, but that's it. You won't be quarantined.
I thought I'd play a little game with you, Sam.
Okay.
Sam's picks for shows or movies to binge watch, depending on who you are. Number one, family with young kids. I've got 3 kids ranges in ages 5 to 14. Is there a show or a movie we should definitely watch?
I tell you what, my kids are 11 and 13. So, but I tell you what, I think the younger ones would still appreciate this. That Tom Hanks directed movie, That Thing You Do.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great family movie. And it, has a sort of a rock and roll element.
Yep.
And I think it's clean enough for the younger kids. I like that movie tremendously, and my kids loved it.
It's just a couple, just me and my wife, or me and my girlfriend. We've been hunkered down here for weeks. What should we watch?
Gosh, that to me is the hardest one.
Because you can go a little bit more risque or a little bit more, gritty with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of gritty, and I think I know men like this tremendously, but it's the 2 Spanglish shows on Netflix. Money Heist people love, and the one that I like, and there's so many to watch, is the whole Narcos arc. Narcos is the greatest show. It's fantastic.
My mom is in that category of folks who have probably going to be staying at home a little bit longer than many of folks. Those nostalgic classics are finding a new home in I think in a lot of
no, people are absolutely rediscovering. I tell you what, I'm going to suggest this for your mom, but it may be a touch risque or not. But every time I've referred women to this series, they love it. It's a Netflix series called Dr. Foster, and it's a British drama about a happily married couple, and then he comes home one day, and there's just a stray blonde hair on his jacket, and Dr. Foster, she's a brunette. And that just starts this fantastic unraveling. But every woman I've referred to it loves it. They just think it's great.
Sam Rubin, you are a legend in the world of local TV. You're an entertainment god. The fact that you've taken time to be on our show makes us feel very good, sir.
Oh, Gabe, I'm really happy to do it. Of course, it took you and me, and this is primarily my fault, like 7 button pushes as opposed to just 2.
It should have been a lot easier, shouldn't it? It should have been a click of a link, and we had to do some surgery and some. But we made it work, and here you are. You look fantastic. I know you're about to go on TV in Australia.
Tell your brother to tune in about 5
minutes. I'm going to tell Luis to tune in. Sam Rubin's coming to you live here at the top of the hour. Listen, we are going to check back with you soon, I hope, but we certainly appreciate you coming on the Gabe Saglie Show. You have an open invitation anytime, sir.
All right, Gabe, good. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Great to see you. And for the latest in entertainment news, follow Sam on all the big social media platforms. Look for the handle @SamOnTV. You know, I had my own brush with entertainment fame just a couple years ago when Kelly Ripa put out a call for a one-time on-set co-host on her nationally syndicated morning show. Thousands of entries, millions of viewer votes, and I got all the way to the top 10 before I got voted out. Really fun experience, and what got me up there was this 1-minute video on travel etiquette that I put together with my family. A lot of this stuff still applies today, or certainly as soon as we start traveling again. Check this out. Hey, Kelly, I fly about 100,000 miles a year, traveling the country, talking travel deals and advice. And one thing I know for sure, a little etiquette can make for a really happy flight. These are some of my favorite travel etiquette tips. Tip number 1, dress up a little bit. People do notice, and you'll stand out for all the right reasons. Bone up on the TSA rules. This is not going to cut it. And be sure to smile a lot. Good morning.
Your flight's delayed.
On board, every inch is precious real estate, so don't hog the armrest. Remember to recline respectfully, and be sure to know your boundaries. One of my favorite tips, get spiffy socks. Kelly, you have no idea how many people have to show off their paws at 40,000 feet. No joke, I took those pictures myself. My last tip, travel often. It opens our eyes up to the world and just makes us better people. So happy travels, Kelly. And next stop, New York City. I can't wait to say that again. Boy, do I miss New York City. Well, listen, this pandemic affecting the world of travel, entertainment, everything around us, really. We're staying on top of it, and we'll have more information for you on the next The Gabe Saglie Show. Until then, check out our website. Plenty of information there, GabeSaglie.com. I'm Gabe Saglie. I appreciate you watching. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy. Cheers.